Have you ever bought a curly hair styling product based on a brand's claims only to be completely let down? Well, in this video, I'm sharing some popular styling products that did not live up to their claims. They didn't work for my particular hair type and my preferences. And of course, I'm going to share with you some alternative products so you'll get to hear some of my top recommendations for stylers. My name is Gina and welcome back to my channel. Here we talk all things naturally curly. I love helping you problem solve with your curls and helping you figure out what products are right for your hair type. I also help my clients with that through my curl coaching membership. I help them figure out what products are right for them and help them through that trial and error, because sometimes it is a lot of trial and error to find the right products. Let's get started with the products that didn't work for me, but please keep in mind these are just my preferences and my experience with these products. If you see a product mentioned that you like, please keep using it. This is just my preferences. And also, this doesn't mean that these products or these brands are bad. It just didn't work out for me. So let's get started. This product has been highly talked about online, and that is the Cake, the Curl Friend Curl Shape and Stay Gel to Foam. This is an interesting product because it's a gel to foam. These are pretty popular. And as I mentioned, it doesn't mean that these products are bad, but what I do have a problem with is the brand's claims are completely different than my experience. The brand states on their website that this provides high hold definition of a gel and the voluminous look of a foam. So in my experience, this did not provide any hold at all. And I would definitely not call this high hold. I would consider this a soft hold product. Yes, it did foam up, so that can help kind of expand the curls, but the formula itself has some ingredients that tend to be a bit heavier. While yes, there can be ingredients that are heavy in products that are formulated to be more lightweight, but this has several of them, and it also doesn't have any holding ingredients, or at least not strong holding ingredients. So all of that combined makes this product just not give much hold. You could totally pair this with the gel, but I bet it's going to impact the hold of your gel, because anytime you have something that is high in water and high in conditioning ingredients, that's going to soften your hold. So you might as well just use your gel by itself. And if you're looking to add more volume, then you might want to add in something that actually gives your hair more of that texture and grit, not this specific product. I could pretty much immediately tell by the ingredients when I first looked at this that this wasn't going to give me hold, because it contains moisturizing ingredients or conditioning ingredients to start, such as coconut oil, shea butter. Those tend to be pretty heavy, so definitely going to weigh down finer hair. If you want something to condition your hair, this will definitely do it, but you're going to need a really strong hold gel on top because it's definitely going to soften your hold. It's possible that this could work for someone who doesn't really want any hold, but as I mentioned, this video is about my preferences, which is strong hold and generally lightweight. It just depends, but this one's definitely not it for me. An alternative product to that would be the Miche Gel to Foam Styling Mousse. So this is the same kind of format where it's that gel to foam consistency. They call it a styling mousse, but it's basically a foam where it's your pump type applicator, and it does have a lot of water in it. It's not like an aerosol kind of mousse, so I consider this a foam. And the main difference with this one is it provides more hold compared to the Cake product. So there are more holding ingredients in it. It actually contains polyquaternium 55. So polyquats are an ingredient that give long-lasting hold if they're at a high enough concentration. This one is about the third or fourth ingredient down, so that definitely tells you there's more hold in this product, whereas the Cake one didn't have that ingredient at all. It also has aloe in it, which can help with hold. That's the third ingredient. It's also very moisturizing, so this is going to give you a lot of moisture. It's going to really clump the curls. I notice a lot of that curl retention or that curl bounce when I use this product. It does still give a light hold, maybe medium if you really layer it up. So don't expect a hard hold out of this product, and that's just because of the format. As I mentioned, it being a foam, it's not going to give you hard hold. But for those of you who do want a softer look, or maybe you're trying to achieve more fullness in your hair and you don't want your hair to be super defined because it looks too sparse, this is usually something that I recommend for my clients that have that hair type and aren't looking to get a super hard cast. They just want a softer look, but still that longer lasting hold. So that's what this is going to provide. A softer hold, but at least it lasts in the hair. That's the main difference here. I usually will pair this with a gel. I haven't exactly tested it with a ton of gels, so I don't have an exact gel recommendation with it, but something like the Dad gel would be nice with it. I'll talk about that one in a minute. But this is a similar option, but much longer lasting hold. Next product is the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Spray Gel. I was so excited when I heard about this because spray gels tend to be very lightweight, and I was hoping to have an option for my clients and viewers that is very lightweight. So the brand claims that this is light on curls, strong on definition, big on bounce. It says it builds definition, volume, controls frizz without ever adding weight to waves and curls. So my main problem with this is they say it's strong on definition. That is definitely not the case. Pretty much the worst hold out of all of the products that I'll mention here. It basically was just like putting water on my hair. I could see a ton of wet frizz when I was styling, and I found myself really spending way too much time trying to style my hair because I was trying to fix the frizz, but it was really the product that was the problem. This product does have PVP, which is a holding ingredient, as the second ingredient, but it comes after water, and we don't always know the concentration of ingredients in a product, and also we're not cosmetic formulators, so it's hard to tell. But considering this is a water-based spray, I bet this is mostly water with just a tiny bit of PVP, or just not enough to even give you any hold. It also has keratin, amino acids, an extract, and some other things, but for the most part, I think it's just water. I wouldn't even really use this as a refreshing product. I generally don't recommend using separate products to refresh. You might as well just use some water or a little bit of whatever gel or mousse that you have in your hair from wash day, because it can just be very buildup-y and just layer on too many things. So I wouldn't recommend even using this to refresh. Now, it is lightweight. I will give the brand that, and it also did give me volume, but that's because I didn't have any hold. So I did have a lot of volume when I used this, but it was like my hair had no styling products, which is obviously going to be more voluminous. I have two recommendations for an alternative product. One is the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Flash Freeze Gel. So if you still want something from that range that has those amino acids, has a lot of those curl retention properties, this is definitely a good one to try. This is one of my all-time favorite gels from the drugstore. It gives a very strong hold. Just make sure it's the Flash Freeze version, the level 5, not their lighter hold one. That one doesn't really give much hold at all either. This is definitely a thicker formula, so you do have to emulsify it with some water, and the more that you use, the harder the cast you're going to get. The other option, if you want something more lightweight, would be their mousse. This is actually what's in my hair right now, so I styled with this today. This is the Activating Curl Talk Mousse. This says it's a level 2 soft touchable hold. This is one of those rare products where I can actually get more hold out of it compared to what the brand says. Usually it's the opposite, to where brands claim there's more hold and I get way less, but this one I can actually build up to get decent hold. But I wanted to mention the main way that I'm able to get more hold with this is by adding a little bit of mousse on dry hair once I'm done. So I styled with it, I applied it very thoroughly, diffused my hair, and then if I saw any frizzy areas, like for me it's always this part and a little bit on top, I added some mousse on top of dry hair and I got a good cast, and I haven't broken that either. So you can see I actually have really good results today. It's definitely a softer product though. It's not going to give you a super hard hold, but you get really nice volume. I have a lot of definition in my hair, so if you want something lightweight, which is what that spray claims, I would go with this. If you want stronger hold, go with the Flash Freeze Gel. Unfortunately, I don't have an actual spray gel recommendation, but there are some more watery lightweight gels in this video if you stay tuned. Also, be sure to stick around for the rest of the video because we have 4 more stylers to cover and some great alternative recommendations. Next product you saw me feature in a video recently, and that is the Biolodge Jelly Styler. So I was really excited about this product because the ingredients look like something I would like. It contains lots of polyquat ingredients, but I just think that those ingredients are not at a high enough concentration. It has water first VPVA copolymer, which is a holding ingredient, and then it has some humectants in it. It actually has quite a few humectants before the polyquat, so that's probably what it is. Anything that is conditioning or those water-based ingredients are going to soften the hold. So ideally, the polyquats would be right at the top of the list at a higher concentration. My biggest issue is the brand claims firm hold that lasts all day. So I had the complete opposite experience, and I used a lot of it, and I applied this using my strong hold method. Actually, I've done that with all of these products. I always make sure that I use that method when testing a product for the first time to make sure I'm getting the most amount of hold as possible, and this just did not last at all for me. The results right after diffusing were great. Like, I definitely had some volume just from not having much hold. It felt very moisturized. So it did do a good job at conditioning. It was a very moisturizing gel. There's a lot of humectants in this, which are great for conditioning the hair, but that comes at the expense of less hold. It also had great slip to it too, and I really liked the consistency of it. It was more of a lighter weight, liquidy type of gel. For this product, I actually have 2 alternatives to share with you. This one's going to be great for those of you who can tolerate some more conditioning or you want a softer feel in your hair, and that's the Ouidad Advanced Climate Control Stronger Hold Gel. So this is similar because it has similar ingredients, but the polyquats are at a higher concentration and there's several of them. But this is a very conditioning gel, but it still maintains the hold. It's not going to give you that hard cast, but you will get long lasting results. But if your hair is fine or if it's already overly soft, I would go with the next one that I'm going to mention. But this is going to be good for those of you who have a rougher texture hair, maybe your tighter coils, those of you who need a lot of moisture in your product. And you could definitely use this by itself. You don't really need a leave-in or a curl cream with it because it is so moisturizing. So for those of you who do have a softer hair type, maybe you want something even more lightweight that won't weigh them down, I would go with the Curl Keeper Gel, the ultimate hold version in the green bottle here. So this one is actually very similar to the Biolage gel in terms of the formula. The only thing that makes this one different though is it's much lighter and conditioning. Like I actually find this drying on my hair when I use it by itself, but someone who doesn't need much moisture would probably like that. So it's different in the Biolage gel because there's less conditioning, but it actually gives more hold and it's also very lightweight. It has that light watery texture to it, so it's definitely not going to weigh down your hair. So I think the holding ingredients are just more concentrated in here, but it's very similar. Next product is the Pattern Curl Gel. So I just tested this actually a couple days ago and I was excited because I hadn't really tried much from Pattern Beauty before. This is actually a smaller size that I got in my Curls Monthly mailer. By the way, there is a discount code for Curls Monthly below if you like testing out products. I have quite a few products that I tested for this video in Curls Monthly because it's nice. You get smaller sample sizes and some full sizes. So it's great for testing products. The brand claims 4 times the curl definition, 6 times the shine, flexible and creamy gel that defines with a touchable medium hold that's flake free. So definitely flake free. It did give me definition. I think it gave me some shine, but my biggest issue with this is they call it a gel and it's basically a curl cream. I don't even really see where this is like a cream gel. I mean, maybe, but I don't even really see holding ingredients in this other than the aloe, but aloe doesn't really give that much hold at all. It has cetearyl alcohol in it, which is basically conditioner. You'll find that in your creams, leave-ins, your conditioners. That is a conditioning product. That's what's giving it that white creamy texture to it. But then there's not a lot of holding ingredients after. It also has coconut oil and some other ingredients that can definitely be on the heavier side. Pattern in general seems to be like a brand that is for more coily hair types, more coarse hair. It is heavier, so I wouldn't really recommend Pattern for those of you with very fine hair. However, I haven't tried their Stronghold gel. I really want to try that one next because I might like that one. We'll have to see. Let me know if you've tried it and if you like that. But this is their regular curl gel. I've also tried their custard gel as well, and that one didn't give me much hold either. So I got definition. It was definitely very conditioning, but it did not give me a medium hold. I wouldn't even really call it a soft hold. This was basically a curl cream that was on the heavy side. So an alternative product would be, again, that Weedad gel. If you do want something that is very moisturizing, but it's actually going to give you hold that lasts, this is going to do it for you. And like I mentioned, you don't even need a curl cream. So that would fit that category. By the way, if you like seeing videos like this and hearing about what actually works, not just what brands claim, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It's completely free because I make a lot of videos like this. Next up is the Kristen S Weightless Shine Curl Defining Jelly. This is a product that a lot of you had recommended, so I was excited to try it, and I believe you can get Kristen S products at the drugstore if I'm remembering correctly. The brand claims it to be a lightweight jelly that adds shine and defines like no other, coil perfecting, invisible finish, shine enhancing, frizz reducing for fine to medium curl types. So I will give them that. It does help with shine. It is very lightweight, and you could use this with fine to medium curl types, but I don't agree with the frizz reducing and the definition. So I actually didn't have any hold with this either, but it was very conditioning. My curls looked like they were very moisturized. It was very lightweight, but the hold just wasn't there for me. I tried it many different times in different ways, trying to really maximize the hold, and I just didn't get hold out of it. So in looking at the ingredients, I totally see why, because I don't really see a lot of holding ingredients. I do see polyquanturnium 37 as the second ingredient, but it must just be that there's a bunch of other things that are contributing to this being less hold. Plus, some polyquats are more conditioning and don't really have much hold, so that could be one of those that is just more on the conditioning side. But it is a very lightweight gel. It just needs more hold to it to actually be frizz reducing, at least for my hair type. By the way, my hair type is pretty problematic, and I'm really picky with gels and stylers if you haven't noticed already. So if your hair is also like that, then you might notice the same things with these gels. But if your hair is not very frizzy and it's not very problematic, then you could probably use a lot of these products and it'd be totally fine. So the best alternative that I could think of for that product was the Marc Anthony Strictly Curl Curls Define and Hold Flex Gel. This is a drugstore product, so it is readily available. This is one of the best drugstore gels that I've tried. It's definitely very moisturizing, but it's not super heavy. I mean, it does have castor oil in it, but it's a little bit lower down the list. Same with shea butter and coconut oil. So maybe not for very fine hair that gets weighed down easily, but for a medium or coarser type, definitely a good drugstore option. I really like the thinner consistency that it has, and I get a pretty good hold out of this. I would consider it a medium to a strong hold, just depending on how much that you use. And what's interesting is I don't even see polyquats in here, but I do really like this gel. It has VP, VA copolymer, polysorbate, castor oil, PVP. So those are typically those ingredients that don't give me as long-lasting hold, but this one does. That just goes to show you can't always tell by the ingredients. And again, we're not formulators, so we have no idea what the concentration of this is, but all I know is that when I've tested it, it's given me good results. Next product is the Anasi Define and Shine Liquid Styling Gel in fragrance free. I was excited to test this because I'm always looking for a thin, liquidy type of gel that is fragrance free to have those options for you all. This is a sample size because again, I got it in my Curls monthly mailer. The brand claims lightweight, fragrance free liquid styler provides a soft to medium hold without leaving your curls dry or crunchy. So my biggest issue with this is I had about a medium hold when my hair dried, but it quickly deteriorated after that. I'm talking within like an hour or two. My definition was completely gone. It frizzed up. It did not hold up for me. And again, I applied it with my strong hold practices, so I know it wasn't something else that was wrong. I really liked the thin consistency. I mean, this is super watery, like even more watery than the Ouidad gel. It's a protein-rich formula. Actually, proteins are at the very top of the list other than aloe. It has hydrolyzed rice protein and quinoa. So if you like a lot of protein, maybe try this, but then just add a gel on top. But again, it just did not last at all in my hair. So an alternative would be the AG Liquid Effects Medium Hold Weightless Styling Gel. So this is also very thin and liquidy, but it gives much longer lasting hold. You get a stronger hold when you apply a lot of it. And it also has proteins in it as well if you are looking for that. I love the slip that it provides. It's very conditioning, but also not too heavy. And it just lasts beautifully in my hair. A lot of times I use this by itself, and I also like pairing it with their recoil cream. It's definitely a top favorite of mine, and a lot of my clients love this as well. I've talked about how these compare many different times in content. I've done a whole video on it, but it's very similar to Ouidad. It's just a little bit less conditioning. So if this sounded good to you, but you don't need that much moisture or that much softness, then maybe give this one a try. So these were just a few styling products that I've tried recently that didn't work for my hair or my preferences. And again, I like strong, long-lasting hold because my goal is always to do less to my hair. I don't want to have to put a lot of time into it. So I get really frustrated when my hair doesn't even hold up through the end of the day, or it doesn't hold up into tomorrow, especially if the brand claimed that it gave strong hold. And I find that's just a trend across the board where brands are always claiming hold, and I just have to wonder who is testing this. Like if I get zero hold, and I also hear that from a lot of you and my clients, then it's like, did they even really test that? And a lot of times I wonder if they test it on hair that is more problematic or more naturally frizzy like myself. Maybe if you have higher porosity hair, you know, those damaged hair types need a lot of hold, and maybe they're just testing them on hair that doesn't get very frizzy. I don't know, but hold level is always subjective. Everyone's going to experience different hold levels, but a lot of these are just really far off the mark. If you're not really sure what products you should pick and what is right for your hair, then you can take my curl quiz that's on my website. I'll link it for you down below. That can help you figure out what your hair's porosity is, what your texture is, and I'll send you an email report after you take the quiz that has your results, as well as link you to my shop page, which has some recommendations of products that I do like. If all of this is just too overwhelming and you've tried everything and just nothing is working, that's where I would love to help you through my curl coaching membership, which is currently open for enrollment for our fall program, but only through the end of September. If you want help with choosing styling products, if you're tired of just testing thousands of things and wasting money and time, then I can help you get to the bottom of what actually works for you. I actually simplify things a lot with my clients. I have you just experiment with one gel for a bit to actually make sure that that gel is not right for you, and work on application and lots of different factors instead of just sending you all over the place with testing tons of things and you can't even tell what works and what doesn't. So if that kind of guidance sounds good to you, then check out the link below. You can also send me a DM or an email, just include the word group, and I will send you more details about how it works, and we can talk about if it's a fit or not. If you are looking for more gel recommendations, and if you want more lightweight stronghold options, then check out the recent video that I did. I will link it for you right here. It's sharing some of my best lightweight stronghold gels, and I include options for both dry and humid climates, so there's something in there for everyone. So I will talk to you over there. Bye, everyone.